On October 27, 2013, in New Jersey, police received a call about a black Mercedes speeding recklessly and crashing into a highway barrier, drawing their urgent attention. And they quickly located and pulled over the vehicle, inside which was a young woman, later confirmed to be Miss Yang, a 23-year-old from China, sitting with 3 other women also from China. And as the police turned on their body cameras, they firmly told her, "I am recording you on camera," and asked, "Where are you from?" To which she replied, "China." And they questioned her again, "Where did you drive from tonight?" And she answered, "Sandy Hook." And when asked, "Where did you get hit?" the officer shone a flashlight on the yellow scratch marks on the car, marks that looked like paint from the barrier, making the officer suspect if Miss Yang had been drinking before driving. So he kept pressing, "Where did you get hit? Did it hit near the door? How old are you, 23? Where do you live? How much did you drink tonight? How much did you drink tonight? I can smell it. How much did you drink tonight?" And despite Miss Yang denying repeatedly that she had drunk alcohol before driving, the officer kept doubting her, thinking that even a poor driver wouldn't hit the barrier on the driver's side so easily. And he asked, "Young lady, what's your name?" And she replied, "Christo." "Christo? Yes. Give me your driver's license, Christo. Do you have a license, Christo?" "Okay, Miss Yang, please step closer to me." And she quietly said, "Sorry, I didn't mean it." "What?" "Sorry, I didn't mean it." And the officer asked, "Miss Yang, what happened here, ma'am?" And she said, "This is my car. What do you want?" And the officer told her, "Ma'am, stay in the car. Stay in the car." But again asked, "Miss Yang, please step closer to me." And clearly, the officer no longer trusted Miss Yang's explanations and decided to conduct a sobriety test to confirm if she was driving under the influence, asking her, "Miss Yang, do you know the alphabet?" And she said, "Yes." And he said, "Okay, let me test you. Let's try the ABCs, starting with A, ending with Z, or try the whole alphabet. I will show you A, B, C, D, then continue." And while reciting the alphabet is easy for most people, the test was not as simple, as the officer watched closely for pauses or uneven timing during the recitation to judge if she was intoxicated. And though Miss Yang appeared to pass the first test, the later report noted she showed significant unevenness while reciting the letters, which hinted at possible alcohol influence. And right after, the officer conducted the second test, the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, requiring her to keep her head still while following the officer's finger or pen tip with her eyes. And the report later showed that her eyes exhibited clear twitching during the test. And the officer instructed, "Please follow with your eyes, Miss Yang. I will help you do this. Come here. This is a stable place, okay? Miss Yang, you can take out your eyes or leave them in, up to you. I will help you, okay?" Then said, "Put your feet together, legs together, hands at your sides. Keep listening while I explain. I will help you position your feet about 6 inches off the ground. You will look at your raised foot, count to 1,000, and keep counting until I tell you to stop. I will demonstrate like this. Feet together, hands at your sides. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005, 1,006. Now you start counting to 1,000 and keep going." And then came the third test, the one-leg stand test, where she needed to lift 1 foot 20-30 centimeters off the ground while loudly counting 1,001, 1,002, 1,003 until told to stop. And as she counted 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005, 1,006, 1,007, 1,008, 1,009, 110, 111, the officer noticed that her foot was still on the ground, saying, "Oh, your foot is still on the ground." And it turned out that Miss Yang had an injury on her leg, preventing her from lifting it. So the officer had to terminate the test, telling her, "You don't need to show me. You don't need to show me. Stop." And she said, "I'm wearing a mask." "Oh, you're wearing a mask, okay? You don't need to show me." And standing next to a yellow marker on the ground, the officer instructed her for the final test, the walk and turn test, similar to a straight line heel-to-toe walk, requiring her to walk in a straight line with heels touching toes, counting each step out loud, then turning and walking back. But Miss Yang seemed to misunderstand the instructions, and after taking 9 steps, she turned and walked 9 steps back. But instead of turning normally, she walked backward, causing the steps to be incomplete, and the supervising officer, seeing this, immediately took out the handcuffs, ready to arrest her, as she kept saying, I. And at this point, Miss Yang had no choice but to accept her situation, realizing that she was now under arrest on suspicion of drunk driving in the United States. The fact that Miss Yang was arrested, although the supervising officer mentioned that she could be bailed out after cooperating with the investigation at police headquarters, everyone knew that bail did not mean she was innocent, and in the end, it would depend on the alcohol breath test results taken at the police headquarters to decide her fate.